This is going to sound like a strange question, but how would you advise mentally preparing for the horrors of war? Like if you knew someone you cared about was going to be on the front lines, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to detach. I would tell them to detach. I would tell them to do their job, but don't get all caught up in it. Because that's what you have to do. If you're going to the front lines, and right now there's a bunch of doctors and nurses going to the front lines in hospitals, and that can be emotionally overwhelming. Look, they do that for a living, but when you see overcrowded or whatever's happening, you can see where people might be overwhelmed by that, or their health at risk, so they're overwhelmed by that. So do your job, but you got to stay detached from it. Don't get all caught up in it. And also, I would tell them, look, the emotions that you're going to have are okay, and it's normal. You're going to feel scared. You're going to feel disgusted. You're going to feel horrified. You're going to feel sick. All those things are normal. They're normal feelings that you're going to have when you are seeing this side of humanity for the first time. I would tell them to write down and talk about what they see, what they hear, what they feel with other people, because if you try and keep them contained inside your own head, you won't process them as well. When you write things down, it forces you to think through them. When you talk about it with other people, you get some of that out of your system. So I think that's powerful. Separate work from home, right? So you're going to go in this horrible place. Don't bring that home with you. How do you do that? Change out of your uniform. Put your flip-flops on. Put your shorts on and your t-shirt when you get home. Don't wear your uniform. Don't wear your police uniform. Don't wear your doctors. Don't wear your scrubs home. Take them off. Don't wear your EMT uniform home. Don't do that. Change. And then compartmentalize, because you got to compartmentalize these bad things. And I guess maybe that could be construed in a negative way. Like I'm saying, lock down, put them in a compartment and put them away. I'm not saying that. I'm saying separate. Because what I'm saying, I'm not saying put things in a box and lock them there. I'm not saying that at all. I'm actually saying the opposite. Write about them, talk about them with your friends, talk about what you experienced, what you felt, all that stuff. It's going to make you feel better. But keep it separate from people that don't have that experience, right? So you don't want to drag home the war to your wife and your kids. You don't want to drag home the ER to your wife and your kids. You don't want to drag home the perpetrators and the horrible things you see as a police officer. You don't want to drag those home every day. Mm-hmm. So compartmentalize. And I think those are the things that I've done that I think have helped me.